Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another live detailing session right here at TRC. I hope you guys are excited. I know I am. I know the guys out there are, but yeah, we're going to have some fun today. It's going to be a little bit of a competition, but mostly something we can just demonstrate for you guys to show that there's multiple ways to tackle a situation. So without further ado, let's kick it out to the studio, see what the guys are up to.
Hey, Dane, thank you very much, and welcome to a live presentation of man versus machine, something we've never really done here on camera, and we wanted to bring this to you live to show you what kind of results you can expect to see. So joining me today is not Levi Gates, like you were probably catfished in the thumbnail. I got Josh Brodel with me. You've seen him on Satisfying Saturdays. He doesn't do a whole lot of talking in those, and
maybe the intern of Shine?
Intern of Shine, and he does have a voice. So Josh works in customer service, and he helps answer all of your questions, but he's also a fantastic detailer. Levi had to dip out today, so he's going to be diving in with me, and he's going to be running the machine, and I'm going to be doing most of the work by hand. So in front of us here, we have a hood that was pulled yesterday from the junkyard itself, untouched. It is a virgin pure hood that is yet to be washed, yet to be, well, I mean, I guess yet to be touched, right? And this thing is absolutely filthy. So Levi and Gabe went and grabbed this yesterday from the Jalopy Jungle, brought it straight into Levi's Ragnarok Suburban, pulled it into the studio, and we have it on a stand. So Josh, what do you think of it?
It needs a little love.
It needs some love. Levi was extremely happy that it came off of a Buick Regal, and then tried to tell us all that we all need Buick Regals, and I said that that vehicle is absolutely hideous and I would never drive it. However, I'm willing to shine up this hood, or attempt to shine up this hood. So in today's plan, we have Josh, who is going to be running the HLR 75 Mini from Rupes, the new cordless machine, and then myself, I'm going to be going in by hand with a good old-fashioned hand applicator, hand polish, and hand glaze. Now, Josh, you're going to be using Koch Chemie.
One cut finish?
One cut and finish. Okay.
Yes.
So we thought that would kind of maybe set the, it would be more even, right? If you have an all-in-one polish and you're using machine, then I would be able to get to use Stjarnagloss's Skara and Stjarnagloss's Glacier, so which is going to be their hand polish and glaze. I thought that was fair.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd say that's kind of an even comparison.
That is an even comparison. So, Dane, back in the room there, do we have people joining in for the fun today?
We have a large number of people, and half the comments I can't read because they're all the innuendos you could figure would come from exactly this situation. I was trying to do like a man versus machine pun for the title and
it's
the
hand versus
thumbnail.
machine, Dane.
And then instead, I mean, the man, hand, it sounds similar, so I thought it would work, but instead people took it the other direction. So you can imagine. But just know there's a lot of people out there giving you a hand, supporting you, and otherwise letting you know that they're excited to see how the two compare.
I don't know if I need an extra hand, you know, I got plenty, but you know, there's different strokes for different folks.
Of course. Oh, one other thing. They did want to get a measurement of the diameter of your forearm before and after the process today.
Which one do you want? I'm left-handed, if that makes a difference.
Hey, that's up to you. You guys figure it out. I'm just saying there's a lot of people just wanting to make sure they got all the details, all the specs right, because when you're on the internet and you're talking detailing, people get very serious about measuring everything.
They do. We'll see what we can do a little bit later, right? Maybe we'll do a vein count on the the forearm. The forearm is what we're going to do.
Sure.
So anyway, so what we have here is we have a very filthy hood that absolutely has to be washed and has to be decontaminated before we jump into hand polishing and machine polishing. And so, Josh, for this, we're going to be pressure washing everything off, and we're going to be going through and we're going to be knocking it out with just a quick soap and water wash.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, if you guys enjoy these live videos and you want to see more of them here at the Rag Company YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe down below and also like this video, right? Because if you like this video and you subscribe and you comment and you leave something in the chat, then YouTube will see that and say, hey, these guys are doing something pretty cool, right? They're using their hands, they're using machines, right? And maybe more people will join in on the fun to hopefully, I don't know, learn something new today. Yeah. So, Josh, if you want to grab the pressure washer, we have the Krenzla hooked up, and we're going to basically rinse this thing off, see what it looks like, because it is dirty, and we don't know how long this has been sitting in the junkyard for.
Hey, Anthony, look at Josh's shoes.
Oh, Josh got the vesties on.
Only one of us is going to have dry socks at the end of it.
Dane, so what kind of protection do you think's on this, Dane?
I'm guessing probably some tree sap, offering a nice protective layer, maybe some bird crap, possibly some touch-up paint. I thought I saw yesterday when I was peeking at the hood. There's some spots in the front that definitely did some rock chip repair that was less than stellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost looks like fingernail polish.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got in here?
So we're going to go ahead. We're going to, this is Actifoam from Koch Chemie. I chose Actifoam for this because it is going to be a cleaner type foam. It's going to be higher pH, and this is typically the procedure we'll go with, right? Something that's going to have a higher pH soap for anything that's been sitting or hasn't been touched for a long time, rather than going with a pH balanced soap. So we do have Stjarnagloss Mata just in the bucket there with the Cyclone wash pad, and we're going to be using that to agitate, but we're going to go ahead and lay down some foam first and then agitate it to safely, we don't want to damage the hood, right? It's got to go back to the junkyard, right, Dane?
That's right.
Something like that? Okay, Josh.
Return it better than you found it.
I'm telling you what, I tell you guys something, right? There is nothing like the smell of Actifoam at 10 a.m. Reminds me of my nights going out clubbing, right? Smells good, sandalwood fragrance. You know, really, all you need is a little bit of alcohol in the mix, right? And it's going to smell like it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's pretty amazing. So he's got that foaming up in the motto right now. And then Dane, do we have any questions so far before we jump into the juicy stuff?
A lot more comments than questions. I think everybody's just excited to see how it goes. But I do have Jamie the Cleaner saying he's present and ready for a live F11 torture test. Based on the water behavior, it might already be on there. I don't know.
There will be no, Dane, ouch. There will be no F11 in this video. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and grab the, we have the cyclone inside here. We're going to agitate this. And then after we agitate it and remove it, we're actually going to hit it with foam one more time and then go in for clay. After everything is dry, we'll do the plastic baggie test. Actually, probably should do the plastic baggie test soon before we clay. But couldn't really do that with all that contaminant on there.
Ooh, I have a challenge from Franco, though, while you guys are doing this. Franco says, Dane, tell Anthony the wager is if the machine polish beats the hand polish, he has to buy and wear a pair of Bessies for 3 shows.
I won't do that. I will not make that wager.
Now we're talking.
We love our friends at Brooks. Brooks are our guys.
Well,
so.
Dane, I'm wearing Converse today, so you can't say that.
But I'm wearing my Brooks, so I can say that.
So you can say that. Okay. So, Josh, how does it feel so far just on the wash?
Gross.
Gross?
Just gross.
Oh, I can feel everything just even under that. Let's go ahead and rinse it really quick. We're going to rinse it, and then we're going to hit it. We're going to dry it really quick and get a better look at it.
Yeah, once you've had a chance to clean it off there, bring over a scan grip light and really get a look at like what kind of imperfections we're going to be dealing with today.
Okay. We'll see if Gabe can grab a scan grip for us really quick. Weirdly enough, with water on it, this is actually a really pretty color. This actually looks pretty good. We're gonna have to go, oh my gosh, this towel is literally just dragging this water over the top. This contamination is real. It is just not liking this at all whatsoever.
Safe to say you guys are gonna clay today.
Oh, we are absolutely gonna clay.
Yes.
This is that's a must stain. This is really, really bad. Yeah. That and these towels have probably been used with Bead Maker maybe 100 times within this last few weeks. So get that dried off. Now my predictions are that the hand polishing is obviously going to win. The reason for that is I'm going to be going in circular motions. I'm going to be going in straight motions. I'm going to be going in more circular motions, more straight motions, and a little bit of left to right, right? You got to have a little bit of left to right play in there to make sure you're doing it right. That's bad looking,
well,
Josh.
Hold on, Anthony. I heard people that I really trust on the internet tell me that basically doing circular motions is how swirls are caused.
Oh, Dane, I was hoping you were going to say that. That is literally not how swirls are caused.
It is not, and I really feel bad if people are misinformed into thinking that's how that happens.
You could wipe something in a straight line and still cause a swirl. And so, wow, dude, that feels absolutely horrendous.
Can we hear that
it
on the
looks
camera?
horrendous.
Yeah, I'm going to grab let's see if we can grab this plastic bag here. So this is unclayed. This is just a... you can hear that, Dane?
Yep, can hear it from here.
That's
awful noise.
That's haunting. Oh, wow.
Yeesh.
So that definitely needs to be clayed. So for that, what we got here is we have the Ultra Clay Scrubber. So we released this last month, and this has been by far probably one of our most successful clay products that we've released here. Obviously, we love the Ultra Clay Towel, we love the Ultra Clay Mitt, we love the Ultra Clay Bar. This would be a pretty good candidate for an Ultra Clay Bar, just a traditional old school clay bar. But the Ultra Clay Scrubber, one of the reasons why we love this thing is because not only is it make things easy to clay, but you also have 2 different surfaces here. So you have jersey material on the back, which is going to help you remove larger, let's just say newer contamination, like bird droppings, bug guts, things like that, whereas your clay side is going to be able to dive a little bit deeper there. And so you get a 2-pack of these, which is really cool. And Josh, they come in at $24.99?
Yeah, I believe so.
About $24.99. You get 2 of them. These are going to last just as long as the other clay products. They're meant to be used and abused. These can live in a bucket for longer periods of time than, let's just say, the Ultra Clay towel could be able to live in there for. Do not use a tar and glue remover on these, but other than that, it's fair game. Whether it's soap, clay lubricants, whether it's a sealant, APCs, glass cleaners, things like that. This has just been one of the coolest, most useful tools that we've created here for decontamination. And so we're going to give this thing a go. I think, Josh, what do you think? Probably foam it again?
Foam it again.
Foam it. We'll use the foam as lubrication.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it. So what I like to do for this is we're going to take the Ultra Clay scrubber, and I'm actually going to dip it down into my bucket here. So get it into my bucket, and you want to get it loaded up full of some soap. Squeeze it out a little bit, and then we are good to go. So from here, oh, that feels... It's feeling better. Well, actually, within the first couple passes, that's feeling a ton better.
That took seconds, man. That was nothing.
Yeah, that's feeling substantially better. And then Josh's has the Ultra Clay towel over there on his side. Oh yeah, I'm liking the way that's feeling.
If you listen closely, you can actually hear the difference as you go along.
Yep. Oh, Josh is getting in there in
He's
that
got it
corner.
down.
Come on.
I'm guessing what it feels like. I wouldn't say it feels like overspray. It definitely feels like sap. It definitely feels like,
rain.
just filth, dirt. Probably there's probably hard water on this thing. But the one nice thing, so this is one of the biggest differences between the Ultra Clay towel and the Ultra Clay scrubber. So Josh has the Ultra Clay towel folded into fourths over there, as you can see right there. And so in fourths, it's going to help you reduce some of the pressure points, right? So
Yes.
when you are claying, you are going to reduce the chance of marring. But the beauty of the Ultra Clay scrubber is that you have that sponge in between there. So when you are applying pressure, you are absolutely reducing pressure points and getting a nice flat surface when you are doing that. So I would argue to say that this would probably provide less pressure points than the Ultra Clay towel would, but I think the Ultra Clay towel would still probably be preferred over the Ultra Clay mitt, because in the Ultra Clay mitt, you only have that fine level of kind of sponginess to it. So it's all personal preference. It all depends on the surface that you're working with, but for people that are new to claying or new to decontamination, I still think that this is probably the best bang for the buck and the thing that's going to do the thing, to do the claying the safest.
This is your side, right?
I don't know. We haven't chosen sides yet. Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. Maybe that will be my side. Really get in there. Now,
Yeah,
there's...
you're not going to hurt it.
Yeah.
There's already
Oh,
definitely swirls and marring all over this hood. No amount of scrubbing is going to change that. So when you guys take the light to it, just know the clay did not do that.
Yeah. I agree 100%. So, any questions so far, Dane? Anybody, any entertaining things that we can...
I've had a variety of things, but Joey Belinsky is saying, back in my day, Wash Wednesdays included the whole car.
Times are tough, Joey.
Oh, man. And then I got
Times
G.
are
Davis popping in saying, a Buick Regal would pick up a lot of contamination parked in the Golden Corral parking lot.
It absolutely would.
It's natural habitat.
Yep.
That and the golf course. Let's see. We've got Alex Dewar saying, Josh's scrubbing method is a true testament to a chips and salsa connoisseur.
Yes.
So, yeah, we got the inside jokes flowing today. But, people are just excited to see the comparison. They are genuinely curious how things are going to stack up. I think I did see some comments earlier about consideration of time. Some people were just like, yeah, hand polishing takes too long.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does take too long. But we want to show people at least what kind of results that you can expect, because there are so many people that are still intimidated by machine polishing, or they simply don't have the funds to be able to pick up a machine, which is understandable. So they want to do things by hand. And then there's also some people out there that literally just prefer to do it by hand, right? The machine can do it better. It can do it faster. It can get you to that finishing point much faster. But, did I say the same thing twice? Maybe I did. But anyway, with that said, I think that some people prefer it. Some people would rather go into a machine and get the job done.
Yep. No, that's fair. And yeah, I do think a lot of it comes down to just preference. I mean, you're not necessarily going to get a better result with the machine depending on, you know, what you're working with. In some cases, I think there might be an argument to be made there where the machine would be better just because the movement is more precise. But as far as using the hand polish, I think a lot of people will be surprised and impressed with what a hand polish can do.
Yeah, they usually are, Dane. So we're going to go ahead and give this thing a good old-fashioned rinse now. We gotta rinse it more than that, Josh. We still have some soap on it. Get it out of there. That's good. I can safely say that there is probably not an ounce of protection on this hood. It is literally just.
All right.
Look, I can squeegee the water with my hand.
Number one, dry the hood, and then let's get a light on it to see exactly what we're dealing with.
Holy smokes, guys. That is just holding water.
Yeah, no, it is just sitting slimy on the surface. Although I do have a question here from Amari Williams asking, I have a spot of sap on the roof of my sedan that drives me crazy. I need to add a sap remover to my chemical collection. What would you recommend?
Sap remover, I would just use probably just a good old-fashioned tar and glue remover. You can also use hand sanitizer if you want to use hand sanitizer. If you have any of that lying around, that works great. Like a hand sanitizer gel, it'll kind of hold itself in place. Basically give it a squirt, leave it on there for just a couple minutes or so, and let it soften up and wipe it off.
And then I've got Alex Dewar here saying a reminder for anyone new. You can use wash soap, rinseless wash at proper dilution, or your favorite clay lubricant with a clay bar, clay towel, or clay scrubber. Just use a lot to avoid dry drag. Yeah, that's a good point. And then I've got Nick Young here saying, these products look great. I think he's talking about the scrubber and the towel. He goes, however, the beauty of using clay, assuming a bar, is you get to actually see what's been removed, which I like. Now, I will say, you can actually see what's being removed on the towel and the scrubber, and the other synthetic clay methods as well. It's not just clay bars that'll show you that.
Yeah, no, all of the other clay medias that we have here, especially in the Ultra line, you're going to be able to see contaminants. It really just depends on how contaminated they are. The design of those materials, because of the perforations, are going to help for cleaning purposes and also longevity. But trust me when I say that we've clayed some vehicles where we've pulled that bar, or we've pulled that the pad or the scrubber or the towel off and looked at it and went, good God, that is absolutely horrendous. That is loaded with contaminants, and you're able to visually see it for sure. So,
oh, man, that hood just looks.
oh, here we go. Here's an example.
Yeah, see, you could totally.
And this is actually relatively new. This is probably
on the phone camera.
This is probably just a couple weeks old. And I don't remember what we use this with, but it pulled off some stuff. So that'll at least show you the contaminants there. And in order to clean that, all you got to do is use a little APC, scrub it on itself, and all that will come right off.
How long can you expect to use those before it's time to replace them?
Dane, I have one of the original clay towels. That's going on, 3 years now? And I haven't replaced that one yet. That one's seen probably 100 uses, and it's still going. It hasn't started falling apart, so I just kind of have that around as my backup one, but I don't have a new one that I use for all the fancier stuff. So,
right.
All right, so taking a feel here. It's much better. It's much better, but the thing is I think the hard water that's on here, you can actually now finally see all this hard water. That's bad. That's better though. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Take the light. Good God. Put the light away, Josh.
Oh, man.
That is horrible.
That's going to be a joy to work on. Yeah, look at those swirls. I mean, not even accounting for the water staining.
Wow. Yeah, so when they pulled this from the junkyard, we didn't really have any specific requirements. We just wanted to make sure that it had paint on it. But now looking closer, maybe we should have waterless washed this thing or quick detailed it or something just to see what it really looked like under there, because this is pretty bad. Josh, what do you think?
It's really bad.
Do you think that the one cut and finish, you think that they can pull it out?
It's going to be a tall task.
I think it's going to be
possible. Turn to like last cut polish. And
dude, I
grind it
think
out.
Well,
we're gonna do this.
Start with the light one.
We're gonna do this.
Maybe we'll do a spot or two with something a little heavier just to show a comparison.
Josh, I have full faith in myself that I can hand polish this out.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
I can do it. I've hand polished a ton in my life, right?
I don't doubt that.
I've never had an unsatisfied customer. So what we're going to go and do, we're going to pick this up. We're going to go and take it over into the white bay over there, and then we are going to lay down some tape. So we're going to have a single tape line just to separate our work, because I don't want, his machine touching my side and making it unpure.
Oh,
You know,
I don't want that. Sure.
So let's go ahead and grab this, Josh. We're going up with the good old. Don't want to drop this now, right?
No, that would be a whole new set of scratches.
So for people curious, if you guys have a local junkyard near where you live, a hood can typically range from $40 to $40 to $80, depending on the hood, depending on how they price things. Gabe, how much did we pay for this?
We paid $7. Yep, sorry.
It was $7?
$7.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that's significantly better than.
That's a heck of a deal.
Okay.
It was a pretty good deal, like these vesties we're wearing.
Okay.
I think we need to change the aperture on this camera. It's looking mighty dark.
All right. Yeah, there we are. So, well,
All right.
tape.
Tape.
Can you guys see pretty well? Is this the right lighting for the job?
And
Potentially.
that one's overblown. So we got both sides of the equation here.
I'm glowing.
Yeah, that's fun. No, but I got a few things here while you're waiting on that. I've got Hannah Joy Gregorio here saying, claying ceramic coated car because of an overspray? Question mark. I think she's asking if it's okay to clay a ceramic coated car.
Yes, it is. I would absolutely do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. And then kind of a random one while you're taping, I got Trap Tracker asking, what dilution of Shinol do you guys recommend for engines and tires?
Dilution of Shinol for engines and tires. So engines and tires, I'm using Shinol straight, so ready to use, straight out of the bottle. I'm not diluting that. Now dynamic dressing, on the other hand, that's when I would probably dilute dynamic dressing depending on the level of sheen that I'm wanting. So whether it's 3 to 1, might be 5 to 1. It's something you have to play with to try to find that perfect look for you. But yeah, everybody's gonna have a different preference when it comes to diluting a water-based dressing such as those. And so you just gotta kind of play with it, but try Shinol straight, see how it looks. If it's too shiny or you don't like it, try cutting it 1 to 1. Then after that, maybe 2 to 1.
And then I got another one here from Joey asking, what would you guys charge for a two-step on an entire car if it were in the same condition as this hood? I mean, it's regional, right? It changes based on where
Yes.
you're located. There's a lot of factors. It's always hard to give a price because it's not going to be the same for everybody.
I just want to add just a couple more
Just adding
scratches
some
in
more.
there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So pricing wise, guys, really, I mean, this really depends. I mean, if they want it perfect, that's one thing. If they want it to where it's simply just an enhancement, where you're making this, 50% better. I don't know. I mean, it could be a Levi job where it's a $300 quick once over. Mm-hmm. It could be going for perfect, and it could be a $2,000 job trying to get this back to close to as original as possible. But I will tell you, at this point of contamination and with all the kind of impurities and scratches on here, I wouldn't be afraid to take some 3000 to it and just see what happens, and 3000 grit sandpaper Trizac, and see what happens, because you're going to be polishing this probably for so long with an aggressive pad that I think with the heat that you're going to build up, it would almost be faster just to cut it cold with sandpaper and then buff it out rather than go over multiple passes with multiple heat cycles. So that's just me though. So Josh, do you want to pull over your box here and do a quick unboxing of what you're going to be using? Or right there on the table
right
there.
Here, I think Jimmy's got me a camera. All right.
So, Josh, have we had any questions on this machine?
Not a whole lot. People kind of try and compare it to the corded machine. That's really usually just like the question I get a lot. How does it compare? You know, does it have the power of the 3-inch corded Rupes, which, you know, as we both know, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think they've been very well received.
I really like it. I not really like it. I love it. I want one, but I gotta wait till my Porter cable dies, because that thing's just been, it's been too good to me. I'm just not gonna change the brushes and burn it down, and then I'll have an excuse to buy a new one. So you have a battery on there, and then at the end you have your backing plate, which the backing plate comes with just a little, that is not a pad, by the way, that is just a backing plate protector.
Don't polish a car with this.
Yeah, take that off. And then what you have here is the One Cut and Finish pad from Koch Chemie.
Yes. Figured that would be kind of a somewhat fair comparison.
They designed it to be paired together, so get that lined up. And then you have your polish right here. So One Cut and Finish is going to be an ideal one-step product, very similar to Rupes Uno Protect. Uno Protect, you guys know, it's one of our favorites. Uno Advanced has become one of our favorites. But One Cut and Finish and Micro Cut and Finish from Koch Chemie, this is going to be their all-in-one product that's going to not only cut and refine, but it's also going to add a level of protection in there. So they call it a sealant that's built within this. But we find that this one doesn't necessarily fill a whole lot. It does fill some. I feel like Micro Cut and Finish does fill a little bit of the finer stuff a little bit more. But yeah, this one, the wipe off is fantastic. The gloss is great. And I think that that's kind of how they market it, as being basically a high gloss, one-step product. So anyways, I'll have you give that a shake. Myself, on the other hand, Josh, I'm getting prepared with here my Pearl applicator. Give this a shake. Get my...
Just jostle those fibers.
So Skara is going to be a hand polish, but you can also use it with machine. I've seen Jack use it on wheels. I've seen Jack use it on paint. It is a machine capable polish, but it was designed to be used by hand. Over in the United Kingdom, it's very common that people are still hand polishing over there. It's extremely common, and glazes over the United Kingdom are still extremely common and happen all the time as well, which kind of blew my mind seeing it for the first time. But it was multiple different experiences where I found myself in a place where I'm seeing somebody over there using a hand polish or a glaze, and I had to ask him, I said, why don't you use a machine? Well, I don't have time for a machine, and I just want to knock it out really quick. And that's it. I mean, that's their answer. And I go, okay. Whereas a lot of people probably here in the US probably overthink it and think, well, I don't want to hand polish it if I'm just going to machine polish it, and I don't want to spend money on a hand polish if I just want to buy a machine and this other compound, whereas they just get in there and knock it out. So Skara is a fantastic seller over there. I know Jack says that this stuff just flies off the shelf. We've had a lot of good luck with it around here, but this is going to be ideal for somebody that's wanting to do some spot polishing by hand where they don't want to have to take out a whole machine, or let's just say that their car has been ceramic coated and they don't want to maybe blow through the entire coating with one machine pass. This might be a good option to remove some light stuff without maybe blowing through the coating itself. So I'm going to give this a good shake too.
Now, while you guys are looking at that, I've got Joe here with a question about the Rupes Polisher there, saying, good morning, what's the battery life on that machine?
Oh man, 35, 40 minutes?
Yeah, I think about 40 minutes. Obviously, it's going to depend on load, speed, what you're trying to do with it. But
you get 2 batteries and you have the charger. So it's the same thing with the hybrid, the nano polisher, is that basically, if you have one in the gun, or one in the machine, you need to have one on the charging port. And at that point in time, you are never down. You will never have to run out of battery. You're always going to have battery life ready to rock and roll for you.
Yeah, you just rotate.
Yeah, and we got a fully charged battery on this, so we'll see how much we use today.
Sweet. All right, so I am ready to rock and, oh my gosh. High altitude. It got excited to see me there, just kind of, woo. And so I'm going to apply a little bit of Skara here to my applicator. And I'll probably need more, but let's go ahead and head over here. I don't think we're going to need to set a timer. I think this is just going to be a matter of heavy breathing and machining. So, are you ready to rock and roll, Josh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we'll timestamp.
You want to start right by the tape line?
When you start.
Or what do you think?
Probably by the tape line and work our way out. Okay. I'm just gonna be getting after it, and however it feels good to me.
Okay. How about I just polish as long as you're willing to, and then we'll compare.
Gosh, I could go all day. I go all day. I've strengthened this arm for like the last 18 years. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's just jump into it. So.
All right, 10:32:48. All right. So while those guys are doing that, if you in the comments, yes, you, I'm talking to you, the royal we, the royal you, if you have questions about the process, if there's something you've been curious about when thinking about approaching hand polishing, you go ahead and let us know in the comments. Ask your questions, and the guys will be happy to facilitate those. Now's your opportunity. So, yeah, while they're getting after it, go ahead and throw some questions down in the comment box below, and we'll approach them as we can.
I will say that this sucks already. Why did I agree to do this? Oh, my gosh. How's yours looking, Josh?
All right.
Yeah.
It's definitely using up a lot of polish really quickly.
So
it's just loading it up.
That's just the hood. That's a thirsty hood.
So that's the problem, is that this is a thirsty hood.
Yes.
So I'm trying to polish this, and everything's just getting sucked straight into it.
Yep.
Yeah, Dan Pfeiffer noticed that, and he said it looks like Anthony could use a bit more lubrication.
Yeah. What I might have to do is bust out a little bit of some quick detailer here just to get a little bit of something on the surface. Oh my gosh, this is horrible.
And Anthony, I've actually got a fair number of questions here regarding like getting into hand polishing.
Okay. Hit me with it, Dane. Based off of what they're seeing here, does this look like something they want to do?
I think some of them may have instantly been discouraged, but for those who feel like they're a tough guy and they can hack it, I think they're still interested. So let me pull up Brett G here. Brett G says, I have some light scratching of my windshield. Would the hand polish process using PNS Clarity Cream work as well?
Yes. I would say that glass is tougher, but I mean, you could try it and see what happens, but I wouldn't get your hopes up, basically, especially when it comes to glass. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay down a little bit of quick detailer just to give myself some lubrication, because this has just been kind of a nightmare.
And Amari Williams saying, I wanted to get into hand polishing, but I didn't know where to start. I might order products after this video. Well, hopefully we didn't scare you away already, Amari.
So I will say that normally hand polishing wouldn't be this bad.
You're not working on a junkyard car,
especially on a vehicle that you probably already maintain pretty well. But what I'm going to do here is remove some of this polish. just so I can get a little bit more on here. Josh is making great time. My fingers hurt, man. About to pull landscaping duty. Hold on. Yeah, this is not my idea of a good time. I will say though, my finish is getting significantly smoother. I'm pretty happy about that. Whew. A lot smoother. Just removing some of the residual polish here. Because again, what is happening right now is that this hood is so dry and had such a lack of protection on it that the clear is soaking up any bit of moisture from the polish itself and wanting to just pull that in. And because of that, it makes it extremely hard to guide the applicator across the surface. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting it with the polish, making a few passes, trying to smooth things out, and then I'm hitting it with a little bit of quick detailer to add a little bit more lubrication to it, and then smoothing it out. And then what this is going to do, this is going to set me up for one more pass of a hand polish that's going to hopefully be smoother in rotation or in my lines.
Joey here was quick to point out he hasn't heard a single complaint from Josh.
Oh yeah, I don't imagine there would be a single complaint. Life's good for him right now.
Okay, now here's a question, Anthony. You can talk while Josh is working. Spencer asks, why not use a 5-inch quarter polisher instead of being limited to the 3-inch pad size? I think for today's demonstration, it makes
just
sense
for the demo. Yeah.
If you're working on a full-size car, you probably would be using a 5-inch polisher.
100%, no questions asked.
Spencer, also to clarify, what we're doing today is not a race. It's simply to show the two methods side by side and see what you could get in a similar time frame, not necessarily who gets there first.
Yep. So Josh, how's it actually looking? Yours is looking pretty good. Yours is looking good. Mine's looking pretty good as well, kind of. God.
We'll get some lights on there later.
Yeah, we are.
Let's pull up some more comments here. I know you're running out of breath there, Anthony, but let's see. What else have we got? Gary was asking, to break in a clay mat or towel, do you do it just for the first use or is it for every use?
Just for the first use. And after the first time, you're pretty much good to go.
Excellent. And then I've got... G. Davis being very helpful, saying, good thing Anthony is wearing his all-day orthopedic shirt. And, here's a question from Joey. Can you get a better cut by using a higher pile microfiber applicator than the Pearl?
Yes and no. The Pearl is really quite nice for cutting such as this because it doesn't get super clogged up. I find that the Pearl kind of keeps a nice flat surface, whereas if I start using something that has a little bit more of a pile to it for an applicator, it builds up too much that then it starts to get really clogged. This has yet to get clogged, and so I'm really liking using the Pearl for hand polishing so far.
I would also think that a shorter pile leads to better friction versus a longer pile where it has a little more squish, a little more movement. It's not quite all pressing in the same spot. It's not as consistent.
Yep.
Here's another one, Anthony, from Adam Stevens. For hand polishing under a door handle, is there a towel you would recommend? Does weave or GSM make a difference?
Nope. I use a creature edgeless usually with a little bit of polish on it, and I go through underneath my underneath that and just kind of get after it. I mean, yeah, I think creature feels the best. Edgeless 365 for sure, but
mostly
yeah.
Low pile towels.
Yep.
And then I've got Just Me saying, what is the product they are using? So you can speak for both you and Josh.
So we're using Koch Chemie's One Cut and Finish on the machine for machine polishing. I'm using Stjarnagloss Skara for hand polishing here on this side. And it is a hand versus machine situation where we're trying to see if the hand polishing, if my hands can keep up with Josh's machine.
Oh, maybe that's why we're using a 3-inch polisher, because a 5-inch polisher would go against like a normal size hand.
Yes,
And then-
yeah.
Okay. Glad we cleared that up.
More
all right.
What?
Franco here saying, do you think pad conditioner is needed for polishing or meh?
No, I don't think it's needed. You could use a quick detailer, or you can use a little bit of O&R or absolute rinseless. Give the pad a couple of sprays, it'll do the exact same thing. Whew, my arm. It's getting pumped.
G. Davis says, I hope Anthony will bring this enthusiasm when he moves on to Pontiac and Oldsmobile hoods.
Yeah, hopefully, G.
You can never be too sure.
So I'm spraying some quick detailer to help with my wipe off on this extremely dry clear, and it's helping quite a bit. Trying not to get too much buildup in here. Ooh, man, this thing is still, it's still pretty beat. But what's crazy is I can finally see my reflection in it. So that's looking a lot better there. I don't know if they can see that sea bass. There you go.
Now,
Getting
Anthony,
somewhere.
I've got a question for you. Nobody's asked this, but I feel like some people may have been wondering. As far as Skara is concerned, is it specifically formulated as a hand polish? It's not really intended to be used with a machine?
I believe it was intended as a multi-purpose polish with hand polishing in mind.
Okay. I was thinking at least it kind of leaned more towards something that would benefit hand polishing, because you can hand polish with other polishes, but I was wondering if there was an advantage to using Skara versus one of the other more traditional machine polishes.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, I would say maybe it's smoother. It glides a little bit better. Maybe the wipe-off's nicer. Or maybe the abrasives don't have to be worked long enough to have an effect, because depending on the abrasives that are used, you have to really get them, really drive them in for them to break down, whereas maybe Skara's abrasives do not require you to do that.
Okay.
This sucks, Dane. I don't want to do this again.
Well, I was going to say, for anybody watching right now, it's important to also remind yourselves that the condition of this hood should not be the normal condition of cars coming into your shop or entering your mobile detailing.
Well, don't
setup
set
and
them up for
stuff.
failure, Dane, because they could get this.
They could. Oh, I'm not saying that they wouldn't. I'm just saying typically you're not going to see one that's quite this beat up. This is like a worst case scenario for most.
Josh's side's looking pretty good, but you know what? Mine's not that far behind, guys, I'm telling you. Couple more hand passes here. Couple more. Man, I think my shoulder's just dislocating out of my socket, but it's all good though. I'm in good spirits here. Let's get a little bit more. Bam. Do a line there. Do a line there. Maybe a line there.
Yeah.
Line there. We're gonna pull from that. I'm gonna use that as my pooling polish.
Well, somebody earlier was saying they'd hope they could watch you pick up a bead.
Yeah, there you go. There's
I
something
guess
like that.
you get that. Yeah, close enough. Amari here back asking, if you were hand polishing your whole car, how many pearl applicators would you use? Or would you clean it in between panels?
No, I would get probably six applicators.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Then I've got Jose Victoria asking, greetings from Blythe, California. What is a good compound, polish, and ceramic coat for white paint on a Tacoma? I would love to hear from you guys. Is that the single stage that they offered for like way up until like 2019?
Yeah, you'll
Usually
have to
that white
clarify.
paint,
I mean,
yeah.
but for the most part, really anything that we sell is going to work great on it. I mean, it's just a matter of choosing and doing a little bit of research on what's going to work best for you. But, most people know my answer when it comes to compounds, and that I love the last cut. But, again, different strokes for different folks.
Oh
Holy.
my gosh, this sounds insane. Joey writing saying, my friend hand polished his entire black Ford Expedition with minimal results. I need to pay him a visit and put him out of his misery.
I would never, ever.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, that would suck.
At that point, for that job, the amount of fatigue you're going to be under, just buy a machine. Or ask your friend with the machine to come over and help you. It's not to say that you can't get really good results with hand polishing, which is what we're attempting to demonstrate today. It's just that your time on something that large, and think of like how much stretching and like weird angles you got to get at to work on such a large vehicle. That's not worth it to a lot of people. I'd have to imagine.
Oh my gosh, not good. My arm, dude, it hasn't gotten this much work in quite a few years.
Joey also says hand polishing is a good way to close those fitness rings on your Apple Watch.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, dude.
Okay. Starting to see some progress there.
Josh is looking good.
I still see, a fair share of like micro marring, swirly stuff, but it's definitely better. Definitely better.
Okay.
You can see some of those underlying contaminants too, like the water staining really got in there.
Well, I'll tell you what right now, guys. I'm done there on the polishing step. I'm about to lay down some glaze because that kicked my butt, dude. I'm gonna lay down some of this delicious glaze and pray this works for me. With a quick detailer to help with the wipe off.
Finally, some lubrication for that thing.
It's feeling a lot better for what it's worth, though. I mean,
yeah,
night and day difference. Whew, God, this was a lot of work.
So I'll point out while you're wiping that off that for everybody watching right now, if you're not aware, we do this live kind of trade show, kind of like mini exhibition kind of event called TRCMA, the Rag Company Media Access Event. And the whole idea is it's live streams for like a week straight, just about. We bring in all our friends from around the industry, different companies. They exhibit new products, all that stuff. And we do it in a live stream format so that people all around the world can just tune in and check it out. They don't have to physically be there. But the reason behind why we do that is to, have our own trade show, introduce people to
Josh,
new
did you
stuff
use
and
Dreammaker?
experiences.
Of course not.
Sorry, Dane. Josh is cheating right now. He used to use Dreammaker on his side. I didn't know we could do that. But sorry. Back to Dane's point, though. Yes, TRC Media, it's going to be an absolute blast. Dane, who's going to be there, Dane? Some of the names.
We have a lot of folks, but the reason I was pointing on that was because for this, the reason we're doing these live detailing streams is so we can kind of like build up the audience before we hit TRCMA in April. It's going to be early April, the show's going to happen, and we're kind of doing these live details to kind of get people ready to watch some live stream stuff throughout the week, and this is just that way of doing that. But this is testing the waters to see who's interested and who wants to take part in that. But no, as far as people visiting, we have folks from all around the industry. If you've seen our friends, you're definitely aware of it, and I can name off more than a few. All right, so I've actually been handed a schedule here, although it's in the form of sticky notes. Okay, let's see. I've got a Thursday, I got a Wednesday, I got Monday too. Okay, there we go. That looks right. Hold on. I'm going to read off the schedule as we have it. Here we go. So yeah, this year we're doing one less day, but the days themselves are longer.
Okay.
So, in case you weren't aware, to those of you who are just joining us, we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and each year it improves. It gets a little bit better. But I would say, if you're curious about what it's going to be like, feel free, go back, check out the old events. It's fun to watch, and there's a lot of great moments in there, and we have some really cool guest stars who occasionally appear too. But let's see. For this year, I've got the Monday listing. Starting things off, we, of course, start with ourselves, because what else are you going to do at your own trade show? But then after that, we've got P&S, then Color Lock, Then there's a break in the afternoon, followed by Yellow Tools, you know, the wrap folks who do all the tools for wrap. And then we got the Wrap Institute, followed by Diamond Protec there. And then on Tuesday, we've got ourselves G-Technic, followed by G-Technic Marine, followed by Detail Wise, a.k.a. Jason from Chicago Auto Pros, who you may recognize. Then we got Auto Wash, which is where our good friend Dylan actually wound up going. In case you know Dylan Buckleis, that's where he went, so we'll be talking with them. Then we follow up in the afternoon on Tuesday with iCase Sprayers, a fan favorite, and Detailer's Helper, followed by Flex, you know, the folks who do the polishers. Then on Wednesday, we've got ourselves Stjarnagloss, who were our big surprise last year, and of course Jack will be joining us again this year. And then we've got Buff Bright, Viper Chairs. We got a little break, followed by Buff and Shine. And then Detailer's Business Academy, which you may better recognize as Ivan, Mr. Glasses and Mustache Bowtie Dude. And then we got Veloci there at the end of the day there. Then on Thursday, that's our last day this year, we'll be doing Rupes, of course, the polishers, as you just saw today, followed by Koch Chemie. Then we've got Solution Finish, a little break in the afternoon, followed by Optimum Polymer Technologies. Then we've got Lake Country Power Tools and Lake Country, and lastly, Zenware Road FS. So finish out with some business software for detailers. So that should give you a good sense of what to expect there. But yeah, no, I think that's fun. And of course, as we all know, when you're live, things don't always go according to plan, which can be fun. That's why you got to be willing to roll with the punches. But it also means that while there's a schedule there, things can always change.
That is true, Dane.
Or you may have some surprises. You just can't be sure until you see it happening live.
All right, so Josh, how much more do you have to go?
Man, I've been done for a while.
You've been done for, oh my gosh, he's been done for a while? That's what you've been doing over there?
I got my station all cleaned up, my tools clean, my pad is clean.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't used a single bar of the battery yet.
Okay.
Time is money.
Well, I think I'm going to remove this glaze. So the glaze can sit on there for a little bit of time. If you want it to sit on there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're going to be totally fine to do that. It's not a big deal. Typically, if you're laying down a glaze, you can make it halfway around the car before it becomes a little bit more of a pain to wipe off. But this particular one right here, the whole point was just to maybe see if we can get a little bit more product, into the clear, a little bit more moisturization, and then also if I can fill some of the very fine stuff so I can beat out Josh, that's even better for me, right? So glaze has been laid on. Typically what I'll go up to it, just check for a little bit of haziness there, wipe my finger across it to see kind of what it's looking like. If it feels very rough, then I know, all right, that needs to be removed immediately. I still have, that still has plenty of moisture in it, so I know that I'm probably fine for a while. But due to time concerns, we'll go ahead and start buffing this thing off. And so we'll get the shot in here for some sensual hand polish removal, hand glaze removal here. Start right there in the middle. Ooh, there we go. Can you even tell? Barely. All right, well, let's just keep going. Let's see what happens. All right. It did something. It did something. Check that out, right? It's doing something. It's not perfect.
Well, right now I'm seeing the light on the area you've yet to wipe. But if we go back a little further, then we can see the work you've done. Nice.
All right, I'm getting somewhere here. Is it better than what it was? Yes. Was it worth the amount of work? Arguably not. The color is beautiful on this, but man, this was a pain to do.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would say I'm happy with that or I'm still disappointed. This is what you have to do, though. You have to, sometimes you just got to get in there with your hand to find out if it's actually worth it.
Here, Anthony, this is something to ponder for the folks watching who are like, I don't know, I still feel like I don't need a machine, I don't want to buy a machine. If you were to, say, work on this another half hour, Do you think you could get results that were as good or better than what the machine did on the other side? Or would your arm literally fall off from exhaustion?
Dude, I think I'd have to go to the doctor's office. I think that's the thing. Like, I think that
rotator cuff injury.
I think that my rotator cuff injury would be more expensive than just buying the machine at that point. So
that's
I would just go.
Logic. Okay.
I would just go and buy the machine. Yeah.
Well, maybe for the folks in our audience who are just built differently, who are like, yeah, I can handle that.
Yeah, maybe they could, but I'm telling you right now that I don't think that you're going to have a ton of fun. And imagine if I was doing this in the summertime in 100-degree weather outside. This would be the worst. Okay, that's my result. You get what you get. So Josh, let's check this. How's your side look?
Looks great.
Let's do a quick light test here. We got sea bass with a
little
light.
50-50.
That looks pretty good.
Back a little to focus.
It's pretty good. You guys still
yeah,
have some scratches in there.
bits and pieces.
Nothing crazy. I'm going to go ahead and pull off the tape here. Coming off. And, oh crap. Hey, you know what? That tape line shows all right there.
Oh, that's a nice difference, though. Like, both of them, while the machine obviously did a better job in the time we were given, I'm impressed, actually, with the hand-polished side compared to what it originally started as.
That's what I'm saying, Dane.
And the amount of time we gave it. That bears thinking about. You know, if you're just see a few spots, say, on your car that are, like, kind of not looking so hot, you might be able to hand-polish that. But if you're doing a whole car, do consider picking up a machine. Like, if you're going to make a habit of it.
Yeah, I agree 100% wholeheartedly. So,
And Perfect Detail USA popping in to say, as polishing by hand is definitely effective and worth the effort, Josh is right. Time is money, and that Rupes cordless 100% looks worth the investment. I think so.
yeah, it is a significant improvement. It really is. Now that I have the tape off, I can see that it's a significant improvement in the clarity, as well as the haziness is gone. We removed some of the imperfections, but really, I think, if you want me to be honest with you, the biggest thing is the clear did not have any moisture to it. It was not moisturized. It was so dry. It was just like a bunch of dead skin on there that had to be removed and had to be exfoliated
Yes.
in order for this paint to even really start having any remote bit of clarity to it. And so I think that's the biggest probably takeaway from when you have a hood looking like this. But I would say that same hand polishing step I did, if this hood wasn't dried out and wasn't sitting in a junkyard, I think that would actually look pretty dang good. I think that the glaze too would definitely add that little bit of an extra pop to it. So I'm not unhappy with the results. I think it's great. But I mean, I just wouldn't do hand polishing.
Yeah,
I did hand polishing.
It's just a lot of work.
I did hand polishing when I was a teenager. I did hand polishing in my early 20s. And looking back, I'm like, why the heck was I doing that?
Well, as soon as you could get some help, it
I
was
mean,
game
I know
over.
why
It's
I
like,
was doing. I know why I was
no
doing
need to waste
it.
my own energy anymore.
But yeah, it just now it's just nicer to use a machine later in age.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest with you, I've talked to people who want to know about hand polishing and want to know, what results can I expect.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty clear, representation
let's get the light
of
over
what
it
you
one more
can.
time.
Yeah, just to compare the tape line just to the hand polish. Like if
Yeah,
you
the
just
tape
leave out
line
my
is important
section,
to show.
let's just, I mean, that's what we were able to
Yeah.
accomplish by hand polishing.
Which, I mean,
Significant improvement.
that's a significant improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, on its own, you don't really tell until you look back at what it was, and then you
Yep.
realize, wow,
Yeah.
we really did something. So, yeah, I
Agreed.
think you guys should both feel proud at what you did today.
Thank you. I am proud, Dane. So with that said, hopefully you guys learned something new today. This was really fun to do. We'll try to find some other kind of little quirky videos like this that we can do to hopefully continue the education and entertainment. We'll probably pull Josh in for a few more. Josh, you did great. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a better polisher than Levi.
I wouldn't give myself that.
I'm just saying. that.
Levi weighed in on the comments and said you both did a
Okay.
good job and that you're hired.
Oh, thank you,
you, Levi.
Levi. We appreciate it. So, no, Josh did great. And so, with that said, if you guys have any other cool ideas like this that you maybe want to see a comparison of, please leave a comment. Let us
Yeah,
know. we're willing to try new things out. Again, TRC is coming up. We want to get back into the routine of doing more lives like this and having more fun on camera. It preps us and it also preps you guys, and so it kind of works both ways. So with that said, Dane, that's all I got. That's all we got. Josh, thank you again. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, take it away, man.
All right. Well, that was certainly fun. I really appreciate you guys for doing the hard work out there, but also to those of you who tuned in, thank you so much. It was a wonderful time, and there were quite a few of you here, so clearly there's an interest for this kind of like live comparison stuff. So if you guys would like to see more of that, let us know. Comment on the video below for later, and maybe give us some ideas of what we could do next time. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and if you haven't already, check out our Rag Company podcast YouTube channel where you can see our Q&A Thursday where we answer your detailing questions tomorrow at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's it. Otherwise, looking forward to TRC. We'll see you there.